Hey guys, long time no see. Welcome back to my channel. So, it's been a while since I created a video and I'm kind of shifting the content of this channel. Well, it's not really changing because at the end of the day, it's still me. But this is still a diary, but I'm kind of going into a little bit of a podcast format for some of the things I want to talk about because I'm going to be talking into the void because although I have friends to talk to about when it comes to these kinds of things, I don't want to continuously talk about them all the time uh, because it just gets not necessarily annoying, but it becomes a tired old subject. So I just want to put this out there, mainly for myself so that I can understand how my thought process has changed over time with things, or maybe not. For reference, I'm 25 now, and I feel like a lot of my values are starting to solidify compared to when I first started this channel when I was 19. So it's been about 6 years since I've had this channel. Although you won't find my oldest video because it's super cringe and it's privatized. But anyways, today I kind of wanted to talk about dating and relationships and that whole entire thing. Mainly because I've been in a relationship now for about 6 months, pretty serious relationship, and most of this advice is going to be advice that I would have given to my 19-year-old self when I first started dating and wanted a relationship. Because the way that I date is not going to be for everyone. What I want or what I need is a monogamous relationship. Definitely not going to be for everyone. It's going to be a little bit on the traditional side, but at the same time it's not traditional because it's a gay relationship. Just putting that out there. But I think the values that I date with are pretty global, in that in any type of relationship, I think these are things that you're going to want to look for, or things that I think every relationship needs. So one of the first, or a lot of the mistakes I made when it came to dating early on was I was dating for chemistry and I wasn't dating for values, right? And chemistry is fun, chemistry is great when you're still a young adult. Like when I say young, I mean like 18 to 23, right? And you're first dating people, it's really easy to get caught up in chemistry, and a lot of that chemistry leads into passion, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It keeps things fun. It makes the relationship a really great way to figure out, or it keeps the relationship seemingly a lot easier. Because when you have chemistry with someone, it just makes, you can laugh, joke around with them. But having chemistry doesn't really mean that you have substance with someone, right? And that's where the values come in. If you're dating someone to get to the chemistry part, you are just getting to all the fun stuff in the relationship, but you haven't worked on the foundation of your relationship, right? And these are what your values are. These are what you should be evaluating in yourself first, and then in another person, right, for a successful relationship. Because if you can't denote what your values are, I don't know how you're gonna have a successful relationship. I sincerely don't. Because chemistry can be built. Your values can't be built, and you can't. Sorry. Your chemistry is built in relation to someone else. Your values necessarily aren't, because you could believe certain things. You could carry yourself in a certain way because you value. Your values dictate the way that you carry yourself. And your friends can have different values, right? They don't necessarily have to carry themselves the same way that you do. but you guys have great chemistry. But that doesn't mean that you guys are going to be in a relationship. That doesn't mean that you guys are going to have a successful relationship. And when I say relationship, I mean a romantic one. Um, so some of my values that I've really solidified now that I'm 25 are basically the things that I'm going to run through with you today. And the first one is intentionality. I think that it is so important to have intentionality in all aspects of your life. If you're thinking intentionality in terms of someone's actions, it needs to crawl even deeper than that into their lifestyle, their thoughts, right? The things that they don't even say, right? Meaning like their inactions. Uh, and if someone doesn't carry themselves with intentionality, and if you don't carry yourself with intentionality, you're wasting, in my opinion, you're kind of wasting your time. Um, because there should be an intent when you're dating someone, right? If you're dating for fun, that's that's something. Uh, that's something in the sense that you're dating for entertainment, right? But if you're dating for entertainment, you're not dating for a long-term relationship. I'm gonna be quite honest, right? You're just dating for fun. You don't intend to have anything lasting. I don't think that that's dating at that point. You just kind of, enjoying your time zone. But that's not really dating in my head. Dating in my head is uh, something akin to courting, where you guys are figuring each other out to know if you guys are going to get married, if this relationship is going to work out, right? So that means like kids, kids, um, lifestyle, location in which you guys are going to live, things like that. Um, Really important. And this kind of leads me to introspection, right? You yourself have to be introspective, your partner has to be introspective. And what does introspection entail? It entails that you are trying to get to know yourself within um, within a span of like 3 to 5 years, and that's honestly quite hard. To be honest, it is hard, and for this isn't going to be achievable by most people because introspection requires you to be able to reflect the idea that you yourself are in a bubble, and you have to understand how that bubble affects you, right? Because your friends dictate what kind of information comes into your life. Now, with the advent of the internet, your ability to search for information is a lot more wide, but I think your friends are a pretty good reflection of what types of information gets, what kind of information permeates into your life, because it's with your friends, you're interacting with certain ideas, you're interacting with them with certain activities, you're interacting with them in a certain type of lifestyle, right? Like here in Seattle, I'm exploring that lifestyle of a tech bro a little bit more too. And there are some aspects that I identify with, and other aspects where I'm like, no, thank you, right? Um, and if you're looking for a healthy relationship with a partner, they have to be able to identify who they are, and you have to be asking these hard questions, right? Like, who are you? And don't literally ask that, but figure out who the other person is, um, within relation to yourself, right? Because they're going to be acting in a certain type of way when they're around you, because they're courting you and you them initially, unless you want to go like 100% you. If you go 100% you right away, um, I am in full support of that, but keep in mind that can be emotionally draining because you're going to get accepted and rejected very, very, very quickly. and you are also going to get courted very, very quickly. So that's another type of dating strategy that I personally don't employ because I can't do that. Too emotionally draining, too much for me. Um, but I am personally, I'm pretty intense when it comes to dating because of the intentionality, because of the introspection, right? I'm trying to peer into my my future partner's heart and their fucking soul so that I understand um, that, oh, hey, I can have a healthy relationship with this person. I can live with this person, right? I am not going to argue with this person when it comes to our values because our values are going to be similar enough to the point where we can work things out in unison. And this kind of leads me to the next thing, which is intelligence, right? If don't date someone dumb. And I'm not saying be the smartest person in the room yourself, but you have to carry yourself with some level of intelligence, meaning that there is a curiosity for the world, there's a curiosity for the things around you, right? There's a curiosity to get to know people or the person, or including the person that you're dating, uh, because that's the intelligence that's gonna keep you interesting. And if the other person also has that too, I'm pretty sure that's what you're gonna be looking for, right? Um, you're looking for someone that will challenge you and help you expand your range of nuance because you can have a lot of life experience, but that doesn't mean that your life experience, or sorry, it doesn't mean that the type of life experience that you have is going to be at the same depth as someone else's life experience. Because you can have a lot of life experience in in let's say dating in California, but that doesn't mean that you have the same uh, same depth of experience in dating in Washington State, right? Very, very different experiences, very, very different things that people generally look for. Culture is completely different. So I think it's important to not dismiss someone's experience, but to rather talk to them and walk and let them lead you through their own experience, and vice versa. Help lead or help another person get to know you more by leading them through your experiences, right? Leading them through your range of intelligence and your depth of intelligence. Um, yeah. And then another value that's pretty important is the value of elegance. Now, elegance is so hard to come by, to be quite honest, because when you're elegant, there is a gravitas at which you carry yourself with. When I say gravitas, I mean you carry yourself with responsibility, with some level of importance, right? There's you understand what duties are and what responsibilities are. Not a lot of people carry themselves that way. Um, the For example, you as an individual are a model for someone else. Whether that model is a good model or a bad model does not matter. You are a model. And for me, the value of elegance is so important, and I would love um, to really touch base on this more, but I'm going to give you like a very short snippet of this idea of elegance that I have, where I would watch concubine dramas as a kid, and in some concubine dramas, you had a concubine that would walk into the room, and um, everyone's act would be cleaned up, completely cleaned up. I think a lot of people know who this person is in their life. It's usually usually it's a feminine figure that understands how to carry themselves, right? meaning they walk into the room, no one cusses, everyone is polite, they they act as if this person is the Queen of England, right? Uh, so yeah, that's kind of like a shorthand of what my conception of elegance is. And yeah, um, this video is getting pretty long now. I'm trying to do this in one take. So let me know of what you think my ideas. So let me know what you think of my ideas. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want me to expand a little bit on these values, such and so forth? Um, Honestly, most of this is just going into the void because I don't want to, um, or I'm looking for people to talk about this with. So yeah, thanks for watching.